But she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her.
Good morning and welcome to the Hacienda. Glad you could join me again. Today we're going to be doing a garden update. And we're going to start over here with my Yucatan White pepper plant. As you can see, it's very green and fluffy, and we're starting to get a lot of fruit, which is awesome because it's still early in the year. But remember, this plant overwintered and it flowered all winter long, and so it's doing really good, and it wasn't by accident. And I got to give some kudos and some shout outs to some of my fellow chili heads out there. I'm going to start out with Adam Ryan Clark. In one of his older videos, when his chili peppers were first starting out, he mentioned, he talked about leaf curl like this, and when the leaves were all crinkly, and mine were all like that. And I trimmed this plant back pretty heavily back in spring, and you can see we got lush side shoots just growing everywhere, and that's good, but they were all crinkly. And he said that was with a calcium deficiency, and he mentioned a product called CalMax. Well, I couldn't find it, but I did find this Super Cal, and it's concentrated, and you can see that this new growth is not crinkly. The leaves are nice and shiny. We started fruiting heavily. This plant just took off as soon as I started feeding it the CalMax. Now, I did not repot it, so it had the same soil since last year, and I'm sure it was a little bit depleted. But anyway, thanks a lot, Adam Ryan Clark. I appreciate that help. Now, the next thing I noticed when I did my research online, somebody said that leaf curl could also be caused by aphids. And while I was checking over my plant and looking at it when I was feeding it the calcium, sure enough, I found aphids underneath. So my fellow chili head T. Mutter helped me out through PMs and emails back and forth, and he recommended this product called Azimax. This is a 4-ounce container, and it's super concentrated. It's organic, it's safe, and it's especially good for aphids. You mix half a tablespoon to a 16-ounce squirt bottle of water, and I spray the underside of the leaves and the overside of the leaves very generously in the evenings for 2 days in a row. Then after that, you do it once a week. Let me tell you, after day 2, I have not seen a single aphid on this plant at all. Like he said, this stuff is napalm. This is my fish pepper. This is the one that is, I believe, doing the best. And you can see the leaves are already taking that white and green striped color. Let me see if I can block some of the sun. That's their hallmark. They're a 2-colored leaf. That's another one of the mystic peppers. That one's doing really well. This is a Bakludi. Can't complain about that pair. They're doing very well. And this one is a peri-peri. One of my Bakludis died, and so I put the peri-peri in here. This is from, I want to say Zambia? Yeah. A friend sent me those seeds, and he's doing good. This is another pair of Bakludis, doing real well. I haven't the heart to trim either one of them yet, and I know I don't want 2 of them growing that close side by side, but help me out, folks. What do I do? This one here is my boot jalokia, and I don't know if you remember last time I made the video, it was just 2 leaves and a stick, and I knew it would grow. They love hot weather and the sun, and I never put this one in the shade, and it is doing beautifully. These here, these are another triplets of Bakludis again. They're looking healthy. This is my fish pepper that died. You can see it. It just got too much sun, and it couldn't hack it. But I found a half a package of fish pepper seeds, so I planted about another dozen seeds in here. We'll see what pops up. A habanero, doing really nice, doing well, growing. This is a devil pepper, an African devil pepper, doing very well. And these are all our herbs. Okay, here we got the garden close to the house. This is the one where I showed you the snow peas, and as you can see, they got fried. We did not have any kind of spring this year. It went straight into summer. And as I showed you earlier in the video, or last time, we didn't get beans out of these guys. So they just started dying. So my wife put this fencing in front of them, and the idea is let them die. They'll rot back into the soil, put back some nitrogen in. But she planted a row of cucumbers. And we are going to use this fencing, as we did the back one last year, for cucumbers. And we've got 3 varieties planted, and as you can see, they're just going nuts. They're doing very well. So that's a very good idea on her part. I'm glad she did it. She did it all by herself. She's a champ. And it looks very nice, much better than I could have done by myself. Then she planted 4 celebrity tomatoes. Here, normally in this garden, we plant tomatoes, cucumbers, and sweet peppers. But with all the other sweet peppers that we got in the back garden, she decided to skip that, and she planted a row of marigolds instead. So it looks really nice. The marigolds, hopefully their properties will keep away bugs. This is my scarecrow, my favorite bird. I call him Mr. Pelican, although he's not a pelican. 2, and see if they're large enough. Oh, yes. You have a nice little garlic bulb here. And you're really not supposed to pull them like I just did. Just lift it up. This is a little on the small side. But these are the Spanish purple ones, I think. They're a hardneck variety, and I'll rinse them off and set them off to dry. I don't think these are ready here. They're about a month early, and those should not have been ready by now, but they are. So we just take what Mama Nature gives us. The soil is very wormy and rich, which is a good thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, we even have another tiny one here. Oh, volunteer type. So, another nice garlic there. Yeah. Not bad size. 2 more.
But she's never in the way. Always something nice to say.
Alright, through the miracle of editing and time, you have seen the garlics that I harvested yesterday. These still are looking good, so I'm going to leave them in the ground for another week or so. I love these guys. And until they lay down and get brown, you know, they're making potatoes in there. So she said she was going to root around maybe this weekend, stick her hands under there and see if she can find a new potato or 2. But we'll see. I'm sure she'll find some, but they're doing really good. Now my collards, boy, they have just been going crazy. I love these guys, and I can't wait to start picking them. The leaves are huge. You can see my hand right there. And this variety here has got those shiny blue leaves. Oh, I know I love that variety. I can't remember what this variety is. But they are responding very well to foliar feeding of compost tea. Here, the Swiss chard, also doing very well. Look at the size of these leaves. They're so glossy. And my wife planted rainbow chard, so they're different colors of stalks. And really, all I see is the red ones here, but you know, they're growing, and we've been plucking them. And they're just looking real nice. And small town gardener, I'm going to make your Swiss chard chips. Do not worry, buddy. Last time there was nothing here but dirt. What we see now is 6 rows of purple bush beans. my wife planted. If you don't know about purple bush beans, I think they're an heirloom. They're very, very tasty. They're long, stringless beans, and they're purple. So they're very easy to pick because they contrast completely with the green of the bush. And the bush only grows about 2 or 3 feet high. So they're compact plants. And once you cook them, just like an ordinary green bean, they turn green, and you can't tell that they were ever purple, except for the taste. To me, they've got the most green beany taste of any green beans I've ever grown. And I don't know how to describe a green beany taste, other than it tastes what a green bean should, in my book, and they're really, really good. And we're already getting tomatoes. They're flowering. And we got the 24 Cherokee Purples, and over here down at the base she's planted either 3 or 4, depending on the row, of sweet peppers, and these have been going nuts. Excuse me. They're blocky sweet bells, and again they are also responding very well to foliar feeding of compost tea. And I put all the straw down. There's newspapers underneath that, so it keeps in the moisture very well. At the end of every row, I planted some sunflower seeds, and I am hoping that they grow up really nice, and I'll be able to tie them off to these fence posts, and they'll look nice. And so I planted 2 or 3 seeds at the end of each row on both ends, so we'll have some nice tall sunflower seeds on both sides. If I can get the sun, where are we there? Yeah, that's flower. The flowering. I've got, oh, here's a tomato I haven't seen. I got tomatoes the size of olives. Some are the size of golf balls. They're really, really doing well here. Over here, let's start off here with my 6 peppers that I planted here next to the okra. These are the jalapenos, and these have responded very well to that calcium feeding too. Their earlier leaves are getting curly, but they are just so pretty, so green and lush, and they got good new growth, and they're doing well. These are the tiburon peppers, and they weren't even with the top of the metal 2 weeks ago, and look how tall they've grown, and they're just doing so well, so very nicely. And there's my serranos. We already have peppers on this first one. You can see I got 2 there, and I got another little one going right here. My okra is starting to come up, do well. You can see they were just very tiny when I showed you in the last video, and I got a really, really good germination rate out of these, unlike my Clemson spineless. The Clemson spineless, which I planted down from here out, I only got about 25 to 30% did not germinate. So I had these sections with nothing. So about a week, 10 days ago, I went out and bought another bag of seeds, and I reseeded the bare spots, and so now I've got Clemson spineless coming up. So I'm going to have 2 generations of okra coming up here, but that's fine. They grow so big, it doesn't matter. And the garden where they're growing in looks kind of scrappy, but I was cutting the grass and using the weed whacker, so that's what you see here. And over here are the raspberries. This is an ideal spot for them. They don't fry. It filled in a nice bare spot, and I can't complain. It's green. So anyway, that's the garden update for now. Thanks for joining me. You're always welcome at the Hacienda, and thanks for stopping by.